This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
All right, welcome to The Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate and guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else. Mr. Credit here, your host. And, of course, judging today's debate will be my good friend Dale Intrikin with Synergy One Lending. Dale, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
I noticed you still have the Achilles thing. You're kind of like the bionic man in here today.
Oh, yeah. I got my I Walk Free 2000 going, and I'm walking around.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, but you're dealing with it very well, my friend. I tell you what, before we get started in introducing today's contestants, we got a great lineup today in studio, by the way. Let's talk about, let's do the mortgage minute. Let's talk about the FHA Streamline product. So rates have dropped down a little bit. The FHA Streamline is for people who have FHA loans who can refinance in a more easy way. Explain how that works.
Okay, so over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of people getting FHA loans. It was a low down payment program, help you out with lower credit scores. But unfortunately, when rates dropped, you weren't really able to do too much because you didn't get that net tangible 5% benefit of your payment to refinance. Well, now since they've lowered the MI and interest rates have dropped, almost everybody who's had an FHA loan over the last 3 years should be looking into doing an FHA Streamline refinance.
And when you say MI, you're talking about mortgage insurance,
yes,
which is the premium that gets added to the monthly payment. FHA has reduced that amount quite significantly.
Yes, they went from 1.35% of the loan amount to 0.85, and in some cases 0.8 if your loan to value matches up. But the great thing about an FHA Streamline is you don't need an appraisal. You don't need to re-qualify for the loan with income. If you were barely qualifying initially, you don't have to do all that. You just get right in there, and it's an easy qual, and it's one of the fastest, easiest loans you can do.
Do you verify employment on
They
that?
don't have to. No.
You don't have to. So
No.
it's literally a streamlined product, and you don't need to requalify. You don't need to reappraise the property. You can just get the lower rate, the lower mortgage insurance by doing the refinance.
Absolutely. So if you're right at that loan to value and you feel like you don't have any equity or even underwater, they don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an amazing. So anyone who's got an FHA loan in the last 3 years, you said, could probably save some money here?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Wow. So that's Dale Intrikin with Synergy One Lending. Dale, how could someone call you to find out how much money they can save today?
They can reach me on my cell. My cell number is 619-379-7101, or they can go check out my website at homelendingsandiego.com, which they can have it. There's an easy pre-qual app on there that they can go through and just email me, and it comes directly to my email, and I'll just send them out numbers.
Okay, fantastic. Great stuff. You ready to introduce our contestants today?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so if you got an FHA loan in the last 3 years, call Dale. Save some money right now. There's absolutely no reason to pay more money than you have to the bank. 619-379-7101. Let's meet our contestants. First of all, the champ is in the house. John Lieber is here from Remax and johnlieber.com. He got his first trophy last time you were on. What's up, John?
I know. I'm very excited to be back and glad to get one.
Yeah, it's nice. Now, we should have the actual hardware for you here a little bit later today. Now, I've always told people how good of a golfer you are, and I know it makes you uncomfortable. But I've decided how you and I can play golf from now on.
Okay.
We golf. That's how you and I need to play golf from now on. I've been practicing. I actually have time to play Wii golf, and I think I can take you in Wii.
All right, let's do it.
He's always game.
I thought you were going to put on Dale's cast and we were going to play with
He is always game, and he is the current champ, John Lieber from Remax and johnlieber.com. Welcome back to the program, my friend. And of course, our next contestant not only is a real estate agent and a real estate broker, he's also an attorney. A JD. Michael Gaddis is here. What's up, Michael?
No, I'm doing great.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you. Now, you're an actual attorney.
I am.
Not just a JD. JD is going through law school, right?
That's correct.
But then you also have to pass the bar.
That's right.
Okay, and you've done that, and you're a licensed practicing attorney.
I am.
And you also sell real estate.
I do.
Okay, so that's the whole shebang, right? Like if I use you, does it cost more for me to use you if you're selling my house because you're an attorney, or?
Absolutely not. You get all my knowledge and expertise for the same price as anybody else.
Okay, wow, very, very cool. So that's Michael Gaddis with the Michael Gaddis Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. He's looking for his first trophy today. He's been on the debate before, but not when we had the challenge flags in place. I know as an attorney, he's loving it. Can't wait. That's probably going to be the first one to go if anyone's making bets in the back room. All right. Welcome back to the show, Michael.
Thank you.
Also, first-timers on the show today. We have Jason Waldy here from Realty National and JasonSellsSD.com. Jason, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing great. A little nervous, a little sweaty, but, hopefully I'm I'm ready to go.
Yeah, well, you've got the challenge flag in your hand, so
I do.
That's a position of strength, I
Well,
think.
I mean, I got an oral fixation, too. I like to grab things.
He did say that.
I did.
Well, great. It's great to have you here, Jason. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate it. Also, another new contestant to the show, Willem DeRitter, is here from Quality First Real Estate and DeRitterProperties.com. How you doing, Willem?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you feeling about your first time on the show?
I'm feeling good. I think a little nervous as well, but excited, ready to get it going.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting thing. Now, I know your dad,
Yes.
Bill DeRitter,
Yeah.
from Quality First Real Estate. He's
Yeah.
actually in the studio audience
He's
today.
in the house, yeah.
Does that help you? Does it make you more nervous?
It doesn't make me more nervous. He's been in the business a long time. We've been working together for quite a while. And, family business. My grandma's 86. She still sells real estate.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, keeps her young.
You guys are serious. All right. Great stuff. Well, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Really,
Thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate it. All right. It's time to fire things up. Of course, the first segment is Rapid Fire.
Let's go around the table for rapid fire.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Keep it short and keep it on point.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
All right. Today's rapid fire topic, as we start with John Lieber, things you should or shouldn't do when negotiating a real estate transaction. John Lieber.
My biggest one I've learned the last few years, look at what the other agent is doing in terms of transactional volume. See if they're a top producer, if they're not doing much business, because it really changes how you want to approach them with a negotiation.
Know who you're up against. Good stuff. Michael Gaddis.
Well, probably this has to do with my lawyer's side. Put as many buffers between your client and liability as possible. So what I mean by that is negotiate an Alta title policy and a home warranty, because that'll put layers of insulation between you and your client and any type of liability.
Fantastic stuff from Michael Gaddis. Jason.
One of the things that I'm really, adamant about is, knowing if your clients have ever owned before, right ahead, if they've done it, previous homeownership, if anything of that nature, what that experience was like for them, and then, how you can make it different or tailor make anything in case they had a poor experience prior.
Know your client.
Right. Know your
Absolutely. Know who you're negotiating with. Know your client. Create buffers. All great stuff. Willem.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say set your expectations up front. So plan your negotiation strategy before you make that initial offer. So you know exactly where you're going to go. Don't go into it blind.
Yeah, no question there. Okay, today's rapid fire topic, things you should or shouldn't do when negotiating a real estate transaction. We're back to John Lieber.
Always do what's best for your client, even if that means walking away from a transaction because it's not going to work to their benefit. It's worth it, and you'll gain a client for life if you'll walk away.
Yeah, great stuff from John. Michael Gaddis.
As a buyer's agent, make sure you present a thorough and complete RPA package. What I mean by that is make sure you take the time to fill out every single blank. The DRE numbers, all of that stuff. Sloppy RPAs and buying presentations will really jeopardize the whole negotiations.
No question about it. Jason Waldy.
Another thing is never to assume answers, on behalf of your client when they come to you. Obviously, Michael over here has been an attorney. He'd be a great resource for that. But as a realtor myself, I like to confirm who owns the answers, whether it be a title or a lending issue with my clients, and direct them to the right area to handle those for them.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Jason Waldy. Willem DeRitter.
I would say communicate. Some people just send an offer without any type of phone call. People are just into emailing now. So get on the phone, communicate, figure out what the seller or buyer wants, and go from there. So communication is key.
Okay, last round through today's rapid fire topic, things you should or shouldn't do when negotiating a real estate transaction. John Lieber.
Push your client to make a move if you think it's the right one. If you need your client to concede a couple $1,000s or something to make a deal work, and it's the right thing for them, push them to do it. If you have a better perspective of the big picture, you should.
Okay, help them make the decision if you need to. Michael Gaddis.
Well, real estate negotiations are ongoing until the deal is actually closed. So as a listing agent, something that's really important is to make sure that those contingency release dates are adhered to. And if you're a buyer's agent, don't remind the listing agent about contingency release dates.
Bonus points for humor there. Humor that was applicable. Jason Waldy.
I think it's really important to remember that as realtors, we're basically mediators between two separate parties, not to get too emotionally involved in the transaction yourself. As John said, you don't want to be chasing the paycheck. And if you need to get out of the deal because it's not the right thing for them, that's understandable. But just to make sure that, we're here to present evidence, negotiate for the parties in general, and make sure that they make the decisions over you.
Thank you, Jason. Willem DeRitter.
I would say educate your client on current inventory of similar homes. If there's only one home and that's the only home like that and they really love it, they're going to need to be more aggressive. But if there's a lot of similar homes, maybe they don't need to be so aggressive in their negotiations. So set education expectations.
Understand the inventory. Man, is that crucial right now. Of course, some of you might be saying, what inventory? And that would be a legitimate question to ask at this moment in time. All right, coming up, we're going to find out what the scores are, and it's time for Agree or Disagree. You're listening to The Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back to The Real Estate Debate. Mr. Credit here, your host. Of course, you can find all the episodes from The Real Estate Debate at therealestatedebate.com. Time to check in with our judge, Dale Intrikin from Synergy One Lending. Dale, how do the scores look so far?
That's a tough round right there. That was
Very
everybody
even.
gave great answers. It's hard to differentiate with those kind of answers. But right now, John, Jason, and Willem all got 4, and Michael's got 5. That bonus point
Bonus
with
point.
the humor. The bonus point on the humor. Got it.
Hey, when you can add an extra point in and it's humorous, we got to give you bonus points. So Michael Gaddis has the early lead, and he'll be starting our next segment, Agree or Disagree.
Time now for Agree or Disagree.
Can't we just settle this over the paint?
Agree
Yes!
or Disagree.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Let's get it on!
All right, Michael Gaddis, JD, tell us whether you agree or disagree with this given statement, and then defend your position, sir. Quote, Zillow recently published a book on real estate. I'm not going to tell the title because it's ridiculous. But anyway, within it, they say it's smarter to spend renovation money on remodeling a bathroom versus a kitchen. They make that declarative statement very definitive as well. Michael Gaddis, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. The kitchen is the heart of a house and one of the most expensive renovations incurred by homeowners. Every time I take a buyer out to look at a home, they V-line straight to the kitchen. I mean, Zillow says that a mid-range kitchen remodel will recoup around 90.6%, and an upscale remodel will recoup about 84.6% of your investment, while they say a mid-range bathroom remodel will recoup 101.3%, and an upscale remodel will recoup 93.1%. Based on these facts, you'd assume that the bathroom would be the better investment. However, I have never had a single buyer in my existence buy a house solely because they had a great bathroom. However, I have had buyers literally fall in love with a house because of the kitchen. So, however, based on these numbers, I think that homeowners should consider solid mid-range kitchen remodels versus upscale. I don't think they should go over the top on the kitchen remodels, but I strongly disagree. I think kitchens are much more important than bathrooms.
Okay. All right. That makes sense to me. Jason Baldy, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with Zillow's sentiment that it's smarter to spend renovation money on remodeling a bathroom versus a kitchen?
Well, for the most part, I'm definitely agreeing with Michael over here that I believe that the kitchen, is the heart of the home, especially with my experience with buyers. As you said, most people are going to be spending time, within the kitchen with their friends and family as opposed to being in the bathroom with their friends and family. Now, having said that, rewording the question, like, is it smarter? You have to really take into account, like, who is it that is your client? Is it the buyer or is it the seller? If it comes to the seller, whether they're looking to sell their home, I don't necessarily agree that they should be even doing any renovations. So it's like, depending on, what their motivation level's like with the sale of their property, it could just be a big pain in the butt for them, and they might not recoup the whole benefits of either doing the bathroom or the kitchen in general. Also, if it's a buyer, like I said, I'm agreeing with Michael here. If they come in and they're not going to jam straight for the bathroom and just say, oh, I love it, So, generally it's just, tailor-making your decision based on whether it's your seller, whether it's your buyer, whether it's an investment property for them, like if they're looking to recoup on redoing a home, or if they're going to be living in it for a long time and they, feel like they should, be spending something. I agree. I think the kitchen's the best way to go.
Okay, so you disagree with the statement,
correct?
Then, and you disagree with Zillow's,
for the most part.
Zillow's new book.
It's kind of tricky though because you have you don't know who your client is per se. Whether it's if it's my buyer that wants to buy a place and they want to put in redo the kitchen or redo the bathroom, it's really up for judgment on their behalf.
No, that makes sense too. Willem DeRitter, do you agree or disagree with Zillow's sentiment that it's smarter to spend money renovating or remodeling a bathroom versus a kitchen?
Well, it's hard to dispute their their fact finding, I suppose. There's no way to dispute that across America, but I think it comes down to function versus fashion. So if the kitchen is a mess, but they install, a $10,000 bathroom, that really wouldn't make much sense if there's not a functioning kitchen. But if the house is all kind of on the same scale, either do it all or don't do anything at all. So again, if the kitchen's fully functional, why would you do it if the bathroom's kind of along the same plane? So it really depends on, I think, the overall condition of the home, whether or not to invest that money into a nice sparkly bathroom if the kitchen's 1980s and you have a new, modern bathroom. So I think it really depends on the functionality of the home as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. John Lieber, what do you think about Zillow's sentiment in their new real estate book that it's smarter to spend renovation money on remodeling a bathroom versus a kitchen?
Disagree. And the reason being is, well, one, we get every end of the year we get a survey sent to us by the National Association of Realtors asking us to give them info on our clients and what they remodeled versus what they recouped out of it. So they publish this, and it's regional and down to the city and county and everything. So I pulled it up. In San Diego County, the average kitchen recouped about 110% of the value that someone put into it versus a bathroom was 87%. But if you look at that 110% number, average cost being $25,000, you're going to recover a $2,500 investment, and you're probably costing yourself a couple months, which is totally negated by the extra couple mortgage payments you're going to make. So I wish they would have done a landscaping or basic cleanup portion of that so we could see that. Because when I go in, I would tell a client, let's do some basic cleanup. Let's do new paint, carpet, do basic cleanup, because doing any one thing isn't really going to add a ton of value on its own. But doing a basic overall house cleanup adds a ton of value.
Yeah, one of the things that you're going to miss if you ever rely on Zillow is that all of their data is national. So it just simply doesn't apply to San Diego. We're a very unique marketplace. So you have that right away to just debunk anything that they say. Plus, you don't know what the mindset is of someone who's buying the house. They don't know what the house looked like before. As far as they're concerned, it's listed for $599 and the carpet's new, and that's all part of it. That they don't know that it's been improved unless you do the kitchen and don't do the bathroom. Right. Then they're going to notice it. Then they're going to say, "Oh, okay, well we've got to do some work here." But from my perspective as a potential buyer, if I walk into a house that has a great kitchen, she's happy. So that makes things a lot easier right off the bat. If there's a bathroom that needs to be redone, I can look at that and go, you know what? I could probably I could call John. And then, we could do it together. We could knock out the bathroom. We're not going to knock out the kitchen, but we could probably knock out the bathroom. So I think there's a couple of things that you miss if you listen to Zillow and you just look at national data when you don't factor in these other things. Anything else anyone wants to add?
It's a very isolated project, the bathroom. The kitchen is so much more encompassing of the whole heart of the house.
Dynamic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and going back to Zillow, Zillow is not really the gold standard. We all, when it comes to, being professionalisms in real estate and stuff like that, trust your realtor, get in touch with somebody who knows that market, who knows about the houses that are on there and what the inventory is like. And I think more people are going to appreciate the fact that if you're not going to do either of those things, what John was saying, do the little things like the cleanups. If the bathroom and the kitchen are both in working and well ordered, but it's original, just see what the market value is like for that property, and if the sellers are okay with doing something just like that, because it's all about motivation and seeing what they're willing to do.
Well, I think one other thing is if it's a seller that's contemplating, doing this remodeling, I think what he needs to do is see what everyone in the neighborhood's doing. If he's going up against homes that have been completely remodeled and his still has the tile and the 1970s cabinets, I think that he needs to strongly consider maybe doing, as I mentioned, a very low-scale, mid-scale type kitchen renovation that will help overcome that immediate obsolescence issue that's going to occur when they walk in the house.
You're right, and it doesn't have to be a full-blown deal either. That was another point that Michael made. It could just, you could just go fixtures, or you can maybe add some paint. Maybe you can paint the cabinets. Maybe they're old, but they're cool looking, and you just need to refinish them. There's things you can do to save some money that, like I said, remember, when the buyer walks in, they don't know what it used to look like. So you do, and you're like, wow, this is way better, so this should be worth way more money, but they don't. And that's something that I think a lot of sellers might miss. What do you think, John?
Well, given our market right now, too, with the low inventory, it's like if you've got something that's decent and clean, it's going to sell. As long as it's priced right, it's going to sell. So
it's true. If you have something decent and clean.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think the question is does it sell for the price you want, or are you just selling it just to sell it?
Yeah.
Well, I think either you go for an all-out remodel or you do the basics, and I don't think there's much of an advantage to a seller in going in between.
You must have less picky buyers than I've got, because my buyers will walk out on little things. So.
Well, it's about educating them, initially too, like what John's saying. I mean, if this is gonna sell, if you find out what their wants are, what their motivations like. If you've checking off everything on their list and you've already pre-qualified them to be a 10 on your list, then you're ready to go.
I'm saying buyers, they're getting, a lot of the buyers are getting tired of the same backsplash that's in every single investor remodeled home. Yeah. So when they can actually put a little bit of their own touch into something now, it's actually kind of nice to be able to go in and add some things to a kitchen or bathroom or flooring rather than getting the same scheme that's just being put in every home.
It can get redundant.
So long as they have the capital available to do so.
Well, I think that's a good point, because if you're talking about entry-level people who get FHA and VA loans with low down payment amounts, they're not the kind of people that can come down and throw down money for kitchen remodels.
Renovation loans?
Dale, what about concessions? I mean, you can get 6% seller concessions on FHA, right? So, I mean, you could list your house, not do any of those remodels, and say, hey, we've got this allotment that we'll put towards whatever you want, Mr. Buyer.
There's certain avenues of that. Yeah, you can get closing costs paid for. Obviously, you can't get money to remodel with.
You can't.
No, but you can get it in a loan. You can get it in type of loan. You can get a FHA 203K loan. You can there's a Fannie Mae home path renovation loan. There's a lot of different styles of renovation loans out there. It's just you have to find the right seller for it, and you have to find the right situation for you as a borrower.
Well, that's something thank you for that, by the way. Thanks for hobbling over here to give us that answer. Sorry for putting you on the spot there. But, I was just thinking, how about a different way to look at things? About doing as little as possible, as little risk as possible. If you're the seller, what if the market tanks right after you put $80,000 into the thing? You know what I mean? Now you're like, what do we do that for? So if you want to have as little risk on the table, maybe looking at offering something like that, put it on the market as is, do the little cleanup that you can do with your own vacuum cleaner and some washcloths, and then, maybe make an offer like that or show some concessions toward closing costs.
Well, and real quick too, it's just all about making it as easy for your client as possible. That's it. If they don't want to put a bunch of money into it and possible headaches, and that's basically the bottom line.
Very, very good point from Jason Waldy. All right, coming up, it's time for Hot or Not So Hot. Find out where the hot and not so hot markets are in San Diego will make you smarter than everyone else. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. Time to check in with our judge, good friend of mine, Dale Intricam with Synergy One Lending. Dale, how do the scores look now after two segments of the debate?
Well, that was a good roundtable discussion on that. Initially, the talking points kept everything pretty close, and then it started separating a little bit with the second and third round of discussion. So anyway, Jason and Willem are at 9, John is at 10, and Michael's at 11.
Okay, so Michael Gaddis maintaining a lead now with a 1-point lead over John Lieber and a 2-point lead over our first-timers, Jason Waldy and Willem DeRitter. As we head to Hot or Not So Hot.
Time now for Hot or Not So Hot.
So hot right now.
Let's find out if your neighborhood is heating up.
It's hot.
Or if your district is on the decline.
I am completely miserable, San Diego.
Oh, goodness. I love this one. Okay, we're starting with Jason Waldy. Jason, tell us about a market in San Diego that's either hot or not so hot, and why.
Well, I got one that's really hot, and it's just on personal experience over the past couple of weeks, and that would be Mira Mesa up in North County. Believe it or not, you can still get real estate, for sub $500,000 range up in that North County area, near Rancho Bernardo Living and Poway Living. The school district's nice. You're close to everything. And there's a lot of demand. There's a lot of demand in there. I've been working with buyers and finally starting to see a lot of multiple offer opportunities there. So, I actually have some listings coming up in there in the next couple of months, and it's a craze over there. I'm loving it.
Okay, so Mira Mesa's hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many homes are listed for sale right now in Mira Mesa?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I know it's probably a low number. It seems like it has been for a while. Like like 14 homes for sale in Mira Mesa. It used to be Mira Mesa was the far out suburbs, right? Now
Pretty
it's
much.
kind of central, right? I mean, it's more central now than it was.
Well, and the cool thing about it is a lot of people want to live in those North County regions, but, you know, especially with first-time home buyers, like they're looking at it and being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, we're starting at $550,000, $600,000 for a single-family home. It's like, I can't afford that $3,000 a month mortgage payment, car payment. But, you know, so I've been seeing a lot of opportunities for people to buy these homes up in that area, and it's been great.
Okay.
It's been really great.
Mira Mesa is on fire, according to Jason Waldy from Realty National. Willem DeRitter, hot or not so hot? Tell us about a market.
Hot market would be my neighborhood where I live and bought a home, my wife and I, La Mesa, particularly near the village. A lot of character. WalkSanDiego.com named it the most walkable city in San Diego last year. Yeah, new breweries, 2 new breweries, new restaurant, a Cohen restaurant opened up there recently. You can walk everywhere. You can walk to get coffee. You can walk to get a bite to eat. You can, walk your dog to a park. Really eclectic homes, beautiful Spanish style, mid-century modern, craftsman. It's kind of all right there. I've got clients who, they were like, I have to live in Kensington. For $800,000, you have 1,250 square feet, but for $700,000, you get 2,500 square feet in La Mesa with a view. So I really, really like it. Good family neighborhood. Home values are up just like everywhere else in San Diego County over the last couple of years. But that's my extremely hot market. Love everything about it.
Okay, La Mesa's hot.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I mean, I originally lived in La Mesa. The first house I lived in San Diego was in La Mesa. So I have right on 3rd Street there.
Yeah, you're right there.
Not too far from the Sprouts.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I really like that place. So
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
That was 06.
Yeah,
Before,
it's different.
Before the implosion.
Yeah,
there were no breweries.
Yeah, they're totally redoing the whole downtown La Mesa Boulevard. They're $7 million. They're redoing the entire surface streets.
Wow.
Really neat.
Really cool. Okay, so La Mesa is a hot market, according to Willem DeRitter. John Lieber, hot or not so hot? Tell us about a market.
These guys are stealing everything I got.
Oh,
but no, interestingly, I picked a couple. Bay Park in Mira Mesa. And I was looking at a little bit different criteria. But in particular, Bay Park, there are only 10 homes for sale in Bay Park right
That's
now.
unbelievable.
Active homes.
Wow.
And there's 14 pendings. Mira Mesa is an interesting one because there are only 38 active, but there's 83 homes pending. So it means anytime something comes on the market there, someone's getting it.
Wow.
Bay Park in particular I really like right now because where else in San Diego can you get a view of the bay, the ocean, a pretty good sized house for probably $700 to $850? Not many places. I mean, you're finding East County stuff in that range. You're going to get more house in East County, but you're not going to get the ocean view. So I think people get that kind of beach lifestyle in Bay Park, and it's really not nearly as bad as a lot of the other coastal communities.
I'm going to strongly agree with you here, John, on Bay Park being way undervalued. When you talk about Kensington, who said Kensington earlier? There's a place where homes are a lot more expensive than it seems like they should be, just because there's walkability to commercial real estate and stuff like that, and restaurants, bars, etc. But how valuable is that really if you're buying a house for your family? Whereas Bay Park, you really have everything: easy access to highways, to the ocean, to the bay. If you have little kids, you don't want to go to the ocean, you just want to go to the bay, or whatever. I think it's way undervalued.
Yeah.
Yeah, great hot market. You gave us 2. So you second Mira Mesa, and you also gave us Bay Park.
Yep.
Okay, John Lieber, great stuff. Michael Gaddis, tell us about a hot or not so hot market.
Well, there's a hot market up in Carlsbad, specifically the 92009 zip code. All the information I took is obviously from the Paragon MLS, little lawyer caveat there. Then right now there's 126 active listings in 92009. They have a median days on market of 37 days and an average price per square foot of $324. The number of pending sales right now is 76 with a days on market median of 30 with an average price per square foot of $320 a square foot. Since January 1st, 18 homes have closed. They were on the market in around 32 days, and the average price per square foot was $293. So if you review the data, you can tell that the homes that are pending at a significantly higher price per square foot than what they just recently closed for. So there's definitely a trend upward. Aside from this data, which predominantly applies to resale homes, there are 2 new developments currently under construction right off of this micro community within there, as where Palomar Airport Road and El Camino Real is. Toll Brothers is building Toll Brothers at Robertson Ranch, which is a 200-acre development. They're going to put 308 new homes starting for sale in this summer. And across the street, Lennar has a small community called Casero that is just going under construction right now, and they're going to put another 26 new homes there. So aside from the data from the resale homes on Paragon, builders themselves and developers are banking on the fact that this micro area is going to be hot. So I strongly think this is a very good market right now.
Wow, it's hard to argue with all that evidence.
Price per square foot's not bad.
Well, and the
No
military
kidding.
that we have living in San Diego is huge. So I mean, they like keep their eyes on those areas too.
Michael, in those new developments, do we have any idea where they're going to start or where the price ranges are going to be in those areas?
No, they haven't. They haven't posted any prices yet, but I believe the Lennar one will be coming up really soon because they're going to be here about late spring. They were supposed to be ready in February, but they're not yet. So it's a little bit. The construction's a little bit delayed, but they're moving pretty quickly now.
That one's the 26 homes.
That's right.
Okay, and the other one, the Toll Brothers, is 308.
308.
Wow,
it's huge.
And Carlsbad could use the inventory.
That's right, and it's right down the street from my office. I drive by it every day, watch those giant earth movers moving all this earth down. It's great.
Well, Carlsbad seems to have been hot for a long time. And who would have thought you could get $320 per square foot in Carlsbad?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? I mean, that was like, you could only get that, the nicest high rises in downtown, just 15 years ago, 12 years ago? I mean, it wasn't that long ago that would have just been completely wild. Now, Carlsbad, one of the communities that has kind of got everything. There's a village side, there's a beach side, there's, kind of the more eastern burb side. You really get everything in Carlsbad. Great stuff. All right. Fantastic hot markets. We learned about Mira Mesa, La Mesa, Bay Park, Carlsbad, and they're all hot. So that tells us right now, the San Diego market, there are a lot of hot spots. You can find the opportunities. You can find out more about the show, therealestatedebate.com. Coming up, it's time for the win. Who will walk away with the Golden Microphone Trophy today? Will it be John Lieber getting his second, Michael Gaddis getting his first, Jason Waldy getting his first, or Willem DeRitter getting his first? Stick around. It's time for Listing of the Week. We'll make you smarter than everyone else. It's guaranteed.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate. It's time for the win. First, let's check in with our judge today, Dale Intricam with Synergy One Lending. Dale, how do the scores look so far?
We got Jason with 12, Willem with 13, John with 14, and Michael with 16.
Okay. Well, we haven't seen a challenge flag yet. Oh, gosh. We haven't seen a challenge flag yet. So, Michael, I'm sure you're going to have to watch your back on this one. You've got a bullseye on you as you have the lead with 16 points. John Lieber has 14. Jason Waldy has 12. And Willem DeRitter has 13. Of course, we'll be pitching our favorite listings of the week. And Willem, we'll be starting with you. So tell us about your favorite listing.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is for the outdoor horse enthusiast. Tudor Hills Ranch. This is out in Campo, California. 1973 Campo Truck Trail. If you have clients or you've been looking for a North County ranch, big property, and haven't been able to find it in your price range, this could be it. It's 427 acres, 2 homes, a 30.
Wow.
Huge, yeah, 427 acres, 3,200 square foot Tudor style home, 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, an additional 2,000 square foot A-frame house, another 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 12 stall horse barn with an office, massive game room, a pool table, 2 wells, 2 fully fenced paddocks. A gated entry, 2 large pastures, so rolling hills, flat parts. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Nice piece of property out there in Campo, right off Highway 94, near a gas station and convenience store. So it's got everything you need if you're into horses or just looking for some recreational space.
How much is the price point on this property?
$2,350,000. Been on the market for a little while. The owner's done quite a bit of work to the houses and the horse barns. Really nice horse barns, birthing stalls. It's got hot walkers for horses. So if you're a horse person, this is a beautiful piece of property.
427 acres. That's kind of hard to imagine Southern California being able to buy that much ground.
The land behind you is owned by the Navy, so nobody's ever really going to do much back there, which is nice. It's gorgeous.
You could buy a piece of land like this. One day a developer is going to knock on your door.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time. Maybe it won't be your door. Maybe it'll be your kid's door or your grandkid's door.
And water's available. It's on well.
I was going to say you got 2 wells. That's another thing that I like because
pump quite a bit of water.
One well goes dry.
Yeah.
That's why I have 2 wells.
Yeah.
So.
Hey,
okay, sounds cool. So, Willem, if someone wants to find out more about this property, how can they get in touch with you?
Call me directly on my cell phone, which is 619-980-6634. Or you can go to my website, which is DeRitterProperties.com.
Okay, great stuff, Willem. Well done. Awesome listing. Congratulations there. John Lieber, favorite listing of the week?
All right, I got a couple, and they actually just came on the market this last week, and I'm going to have both of them open today. My team and I will have both of these open today, 1 to 4.
So they'll be open here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, getting them both opened up. So the first one I've got is actually another equestrian property, and it's out in Blossom Valley, which is on the east end of El Cajon. And the nice thing about it is I think it's the closest equestrian area to downtown San Diego, and you're about 10 to 15 minutes closer than Alpine. So it's 10610 Quail Canyon Road, and it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2,800 square foot single level home, 2 acres, swimming pool, hot tub, tack room, horse corral, and we're priced at $759 on that. And it's also got an owned solar system that covers about 80% of the utility bills out there.
Also has a pretty decent view. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, panoramic view of the mountains. I mean, it's just an incredible area. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So $759 for that one. That one's open here in just a few minutes for people to go take a look at.
And then I've also got 1718 Monterey Avenue in Coronado. And the owner on this one spent 1.5 years remodeling it. It's one of the most impressive, probably the most impressive remodel I've ever been in. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,300 square foot home. You've got a view of Glorieta Bay, Coronado Golf Course. You're a 5-minute walk to the Dell and all the restaurants. We're priced at $2.885 on that one.
And I saw that one as well, as John obviously sent me the links to his listings.
Of course.
And that that one is extremely well done on the interior. I mean, it is
the detail,
immaculate.
You've got ambient LED lighting in the recessed ceiling. You've got wood wainscoting in every room. Carrera marble counters on every hard surface in the house. Swimming pool in the backyard. It is impressive.
That one's going to be open today as well?
Yes.
And how would people get a hold of you so they can come by and take a look?
You can call me at 619-922-1000 or go to my website, johnlieber.com.
And that's John, John, Lieber is Liber.
Lieber.
Lieber.
Yes.
.com. Okay, John. Great stuff. Fantastic listings.
Thanks.
Good luck on those today. Michael Gaddis.
Yes,
Listing of the week.
I'm taking us to Oceanside.
All right.
If you're looking for a luxury home in Oceanside, this is the home for you. It's located at 5572 Thoroughbred Street in Oceanside, California, and it's priced at $850,000. It's actually new construction. It's never been lived in. It was owned by a doctor who planned on living there, but because he got transferred further south, it didn't work out for him. So he's putting it up for sale. It's located in Meritage's equestrian-themed Marisol at Ocean Ranch, so there seems to be an equestrian theme going on around here today. The home is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 4,296 square feet. The seller upgraded the house, as I mentioned, because he planned on living there. So he put distressed edged warm walnut travertine flooring throughout in a Versailles pattern, cathedral ceilings, an open kitchen with a huge center island and eating bar covered with giallo imperial granite countertops, plantation shutters, RV parking, over 17,000 square foot lot. That's huge in Oceanside for a development like this. Absolutely huge. And it feels much bigger than that. It's a huge flat yard, completely usable. 73 foot of frontage that runs back 235 feet. It's energy efficient. And no Mellorews. No Mellorews.
Yes.
Did I say that? No Mellorews. The community is great. Everyone knows each other there, and they seem to throw a lot of block parties. Every time I go over there, they got like tables out front, and everybody's drinking and having a great time. The people are really friendly. So if you're looking for a luxury home there, and you're driving around right now going to Arrowwood thinking that's where the best luxury homes are, turn your car around right now and go to 5572 Thoroughbred Street, because you will thank me, because it has no Mellorews. Okay? A house like that is rare. Check it out and tell me if I'm wrong. Go there, and if I'm wrong, call me up and tell me I'm wrong.
What's the price point for that one, Michael?
$850,000.
$850,000. And how could someone find out more if they wanted to? Is it open today? Can they just call you?
Yes, it's actually open today. So if you just, as I said, if you're in your car right now, drive over to 5572 Thoroughbred Street and check this house out. And if you're online, you can go. I give all my clients a dedicated website for each of their homes. So go to www.5572thoroughbredstreet.com. That's www.5572thoroughbredstreet.com.
Okay, great stuff, Michael. Well done, sir. Jason Wally, favorite listing of the week?
Well, my favorite listing is obviously going to be my next listing that I got coming up. But, working with Realty National and partnered with CT Homes, we have access to a ton of hidden inventory that's not yet on the MLS. So I know that inventory is low right now. And if you've seen everything that you think you've seen, definitely need to get in contact with me because, as I mentioned earlier with John, the Mira Mesa market's really hot. We have 3 homes currently right now being renovated as we speak that are going to be coming up shortly in the Mira Mesa area. And they're all wonderfully well renovated, beautifully staged and accessible. I have access to all sorts of different hidden inventories, again, and what I mentioned through Realty National, tons of beautiful homes. And that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay. And now you said CT Homes, so these are the guys from the
Flip
TV
This House.
show.
Yeah,
And
they do
they're
everything.
here in San Diego now.
They are.
And so you've got they're working in the Mira Mesa area, as you mentioned earlier.
All over San Diego. So it's not even just in that area, but we've got hidden inventory coming up every day. So,
And when you say hidden inventory, what you mean is that basically inventory that the market doesn't know about
that
yet.
nobody knows about except for maybe their neighbors with the bulldozers going and everything like that too. Yeah, so
Okay, Jason, how would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to find out about some of that hidden inventory?
you call me directly. My phone number is 858-568-4950. And or you can just reach me at my website, jasonsellsd.com, or my email is real simple, just jason@realtynational.com.
Okay, fantastic stuff from Jason Waldy. And as Dale Intrican, our judge, is tallying up the final score here so we can find out who has won the real estate debate today, I wanted to take the time to say thank you to all of our contestants, John Lieber from RE/MAX and johnlieber.com. Great to have you, man. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
You're the champ. Michael Gaddis from Michael Gaddis Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know it was tough. I know it took many attempts, but we finally got you here, and you did an awesome job today. Jason Waldy from Realty National and jasonsellsd.com. You did fantastic today, too.
Thank you. Thank you very
for
much.
being here. And Willem DeRitter, I can see you back there, man. Dale's taking over your microphone to give us the scores, but you did great today, and I really appreciate your time from Quality First Real Estate and DeRitterProperties.com. So, Dale, it's that time. It's that time where you have
where 3 people get a heart broken.
You have to tell us.
3 people key my car on the way to the parking lot.
Yeah, which car is that?
It's way down the street. Okay, so obviously close. It's always tough to judge these, but Jason ended up with 15, Willem was 16, John was 17, and Michael went coast to coast, got 19.
Michael,
all right.
Good job.
Michael Gaddis.
You win.
It's been a long time coming, Michael Gaddis, and this is the best part of the whole thing. You get your own couple of minutes here to tell us about, your company, who you are, what you do, how you service clients. So you've won the real estate debate. You will be walking home with a golden microphone trophy. You and I will be taking pictures here shortly, but we have a couple minutes that are just for you to tell us about the Michael Gaddis Realty Group.
Well, as you know, I'm a licensed California attorney as well as a real estate broker. Probably 20% of my day is given to the legal practice. I primarily focus on my real estate brokerage. And what I like to say is that, with my knowledge and expertise from my legal practice, I give that same experience to all of my real estate clients so that when we're in a real estate transaction, they know for sure that they've got top-notch representation from someone who's prepared from just about anything that anyone can throw at them. I'm ready.
Is that now? That's what law school is all about, right?
That's right.
They show you what the world really looks like in black and white.
That's right.
Kind of an eye-opening experience. So as a practicing real estate broker and a licensed, a capable to practice attorney, you obviously, we talked about this earlier, you don't charge anyone any more money. So it's just kind of a value add that clients get for using you. Does that tend to be more advantageous for people who are buying homes or people who are selling homes? Aren't the people who sell homes, don't they have the most liability?
They do, but it works from both sides. I mean, as a lawyer and representing somebody who is selling a home, what you point out is exactly correct, which is why I mentioned earlier on, buffer with liability with ALTA policies and home warranties and stuff. You need to make sure that you've got all your I's dotted and T's crossed. I mean, owning a home is the largest investment that most people own, and it's amazing, that they entrust that to some of the people that they do sometimes. I mean, I come across people who can't even spell their name sometimes, it seems like, and it's just shocking to me. and that they're entrusting their $3 million home to that. And so it's, I try to circumvent that and try to give people the best possible representation that I can.
And it's especially crucial here in San Diego. I actually looked up my childhood home today on Zillow just to see, what it looked like from a bird's eye view, see what it was worth. The estimate is $123,000 on that home that I grew up in, 2,000 square feet in Columbia, Missouri. You're also from Missouri.
That's right. I'm from Kansas City.
So, here, in San Diego, you got a house, your entry-level homes, single-level or single-family homes are sometimes $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. So it's even more important. So that's Michael Gaddis, who has won the real estate debate today with the Michael Gaddis Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. Michael, give out your phone number one more time today for anyone listening.
It's 760-692-5950. That's 760-692-5950.
Well done, champ. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all our contestants today. Stick around. We're talking money with Mr. C right here on AM 760.